Although, we see the Luna ghost from the Scooby-Doo live-action film, as well as references to Scrappy-Doo, and never talking about him again.
We all promised each other that we would never speak of him. Not ever.
So then, why wouldn't this be connected somehow to our main timeline? Well, because A, they don't believe in real ghosts, when in the main timeline by this point they've seen plenty of those. B, they're born and raised in a new town. This one's town is Crystal Cove as opposed to Coolsville, USA. And C, they don't recognize Vincent Van Ghoul, the wizard who served as their guide throughout the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo and its spin-off movie, The Curse of the 13th Ghost. It's a paradox that can only be solved via a separate timeline. At the end of the series, as I talked about earlier, the team is sent to a new timeline where the supernatural entity never existed in the first place. When Fred arrives in this new world, upon realizing there's no dark entity or the effects that it left, he declares that it's a
world without mysteries.
Of course, this is wrong, but what it does mean is that this is a world without paranormal activity, which leads directly into the events of Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which sees our gang in their new timeline. We're told that they just got out of high school, which continues the story of them being in high school in Mystery Incorporated, and true to what Fred said about a world without mystery, this new series moves away from solving crimes and more into the territory of Phineas and Ferb, complete with increased emphasis on comedy and wacky inventions. And that's the latest point in the Scoobyverse as of now. Given the show's tendency to jump around its own timeline, there's no guarantee the next batch of Scooby episodes and movies will even take place in the future of the timeline. Maybe they'll track back to when the gang was in a more grounded seeming reality. But for once, we can roughly see the way this entire timeline links together. One mystery gang we've watched grow up since they were kids, a second mystery gang that have themselves crossed dimensions into a brand new timeline, and a third that's entirely digital. And now with that out of the way, tune in next week when I explain how Fred and Daphne still haven't become an official couple after all these years. Actually, that's not an episode at all. I just said it as a joke. The next episode is absolutely Rick and Morty. Anyway, until then, remember, it's all just a theory. A film theory. And cut.